Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Sierra, and we are about to watch The Knick, Season 1, Episode 3, entitled The Busy Flea. If you enjoy this reaction, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
I'm looking for Dr. John Thackeray. Dr. Thackeray's office is on the second floor on the west side of the building.
I don't know if that meant they recognized that woman or her face was really messed up.
That I would know anyone foolish enough to call themselves any such thing.
Should I send her away?
There's no way he knows
Abby.
who it is by that silhouette. Her nose.
It's good to see you.
No one handles the unexpected like John Thackeray.
It's where I live. Please, take a seat.
No! How the heck?
I didn't know how else to go about this. I thought of writing a letter.
R.I.P.
Fine. You're here now.
In all my splendor. I suppose you can surmise why I've come to you.
Of course. Well, Mrs. Alfred, let me take a look at you and see what remedies I can offer. Is the light still too much?
Wow.
I wouldn't blame you for wondering.
And,
I've only been with two men in my life. You and my husband.
So this is an
It's my
STD.
husband.
Like
really
syphilis or
prefer
something?
not to get in.
A girl in his office. She knew she had it. She was too embarrassed to say anything. She wasn't too embarrassed to have sex with my husband, but telling him that she was a syphilitic whore, well, that was more than she could bear.
Syphilis. Syphilitic
What I
whore.
recall, then
I didn't know syphilis took your nose, though. It's crazy. Intermission. What's going on, y'all? So anytime there's a word said or something said that I don't know anything about, I like to look it up and throw in little fun facts for y'all because knowledge is power. So I've always been under the impression that syphilis was something that happened back in the old days that was transmitted sexually. But looking it up, it's just way too much to type, so I just wanted to explain to you guys what syphilis is. It is actually a STI, which is a sexually transmitted infection, and it is, of course, transmitted sexually, oral, anal, vaginal, and it actually shows up as like a sore either on the penis or in the mouth from oral or in the vagina or in the anus, whatever. But back in the day when people would get syphilis, it was basically a death sentence. This show takes place in 1900, and penicillin was not invented until 1928, which was actually discovered in Scotland by a doctor named Alexander Fleming. Nowadays, the only way you can get tested for syphilis is through a blood test, and it is easily cured now because we have penicillin. You actually do not take a penicillin pill. You have to get a penicillin injection into your butt. Also, if you don't always have it, it's easily taken care of, but your blood tests will always test positive for syphilis. So your doctor may ask, have you ever been tested for syphilis? And you have to say yes, but I got antibiotics for it. I don't have it anymore. That's why back in the day it was a death sentence, because it didn't have antibiotics, and it goes through these stages and it gets that severe. It will attack your whole system, your whole body, and people get, like, it takes over the mind. We can see in this woman it is detrimental to the body, but again, this is 1900 and this woman's just out of luck. That is the fun fact, learn something new moment of the day, and back to the reaction. Realistically,
You can put your
I think-
apparatus back on.
her voice would sound really, really strange. Like, I don't know, maybe the opposite of nasally. And also, it would be dumb crusty because you constantly, like, like drainage. I think it's hilarious.
The surgeon
in early
selects a piece of
1900s, the way
skin.
racism is that
He then
the
makes a
nose is black
flap
and
which
not
stays partially
flesh
affixed to your arm.
colored.
He then attaches the other end of the flap to the bridge of your nose, attempting as best he can to connect a good blood supply. A harness is then put in place for several weeks to ensure that the arm doesn't come away from the face and put stress on the connection. The piece is cut away from you, and then the healthy skin is used to shape you something where your nose would have been. With no bone or cartilage to support the skin, it won't be more than a covering for that hole, but it will partially restore you.
Wow, that
Not to where you
sucks.
were.
Effie, dear.
I'm actually in a bit of a hurry.
She's wearing more than a year of my wages on her back.
My father always ran his haberdashery with unfailing politeness. You could certainly take a lesson from us.
Define
Polite was he
haberdashery.
when his creditors.
A person who sells small articles,
Going for
buttons,
dentists.
ribbons, zippers.
I should know these things.
It was last minute.
Whatever.
Expect you're here for some money.
You left the apartment so quickly this morning, I didn't even have a chance to ask. It's not much. I wanted to take a few friends to lunch, and the children need new suits for Sunday school. And while I was out, I thought maybe I'd have a little look for myself at Bonwit Teller.
This poor guy, man.
You haven't by chance seen those pearl earrings that you bought me, have you?
No, not at all. Are they missing?
They're no longer in my jewelry case. I couldn't have misplaced them.
Perhaps the maid.
I was thinking that myself. You need to fire her.
First thing when she arrives for work tomorrow morning.
He sold them pearls and gave her the money right back, I'm guessing.
11 p.m. It's just me and Wilson keeping the balls going. If you ain't got business down here, you ain't coming down here. And no one but us got business down here.
Time's up. May I see?
Okay, but I've never sewn on chicken skin before.
I asked for 100 stitches.
I did that, and then since I still had time, I did 100 more. The first bunch I did like you told me. Second bunch I did like we do on the pillows, so the seam don't show. Is that okay, sir?
Oh, she's probably a beast.
Congratulations, Miss Odom. You've just been promoted from laundress to surgical nurse.
Ooh, he was timing her. She did 100 extra
Good evening
stitches.
to you.
Where does it hurt? Your lower left side?
He's about to cure everybody in there.
It's all there.
So he stole
Like
bodies
raising
from
the dead.
his hospital to sell to another hospital for money.
Aren't you forgetting something?
They can't put the tooth back in.
That is not my tooth.
Get the fuck out!
So I'm guessing that he went and got bodies from his morgue and sold them to whoever was paying $75 a pop. I'm guessing. Ah.
Hospital's no game.
If he's got enough
the
money to
law.
spend at a whorehouse,
Making an ass.
he's good. He's all right.
Save people's lives. I don't think I could be around all that.
A beautiful girl like you should not have to be. I'll see to that. A little something.
Pearl earrings?
For me? No.
Close your eyes.
Pearl earrings. What a jerk.
Put them on.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
You're the most wonderful man in the world. Now, do you want your special gift?
Yes. Will you show me the busy flea?
Oh dear! Is that a flea on me? It just went under my dress. Where is it? Where is it?
It's on your tit.
Oh my God. Was that really worth the title of this episode? He's in Atlanta. He's on the show Atlanta
I'm here
with
about
Donald
the washing
Glover,
job.
aka Childish Gambino. Anybody watch Atlanta?
Of the inguinal canal. INGUINAL. Ligating the peritoneal sac. I will now carry out a 3-layer hernia repair
I love this.
of my own design. Just so. Make sure it holds fast.
You sure it's okay for me to be doing this?
There's no one here to stop you.
If you needed assistance deciphering a restaurant menu, then I'd be your girl.
Oh, this is the journal that they stole last episode.
Yeah,
See, this is all out of pride. Oh. It's all out of pride that they're not actually asking Algernon about the procedure. But he also was in Paris, France, so he probably knows French too.
She's a lucky wee babe to have made it this far, I mean.
Ooh.
So I can go back to work then?
No, not for several weeks. Strict bed rest. I'm guessing that work is what gave you the hernia in the first place.
I'm sure you and Jesse are pleased to have our boy back in New York.
Oh, we are. Can't thank you enough for that.
He's a smart boy, but I'm sure you already know that.
Nobody gets tired of hearing good things about their children, Captain Sam.
I've always known a quality investment, and he has proven himself to be worth every penny.
Well, I hope our Algernon continue to prove you right.
That's Algernon's mother?
Can't resist.
Is that what I just heard? Word. Well, I wonder if that's all the money that she gets paid to do her abortions.
What happened to that other fella? The one who's sick like me.
He didn't survive. We are working on a very different procedure to try out on you.
Why would you tell him that?
If they only knew
Knew what?
what you really are.
He's really making efforts to make her feel bad about herself.
Something giving rich folks a poor folks disease. It needs a look. I'll call in the family and make my inquiries.
I'll come with you.
Poor folks disease.
I've been above before. So, wire corrodes inside the artery every time. Nick to slice, to disconnect, or to break.
So we don't know whether we're supposed to make a small nick or cut the whole thing off.
The simplest words mean 5 things in
God,
French.
go ask Algernon, man. Come on. This is ridiculous.
I think we should just...
No, we
Yes.
don't need him.
You totally should.
He did co-author the paper.
Right.
Seems like we're gonna need this man after all.
No, we don't.
Calm yourself, Everett.
Let's
You'll
go.
do the procedure. All we'll have him do is talk you through it. He'll never lay a hand on your patient.
Schedule says you're doing a skin graft on a syphilitic this afternoon.
Yes. In fact, you interrupted my preparations.
Preparations. Gotta get high before you save a woman's syphilitic nose. And you know what? Now thinking about it, the very first episode, they showed Jules, the doctor that killed himself. He was like asking for a scalpel, and they showed tons of shoot-up spots.
I told you to stay home. I can't lose my job. Shit, he ain't the only one. I told you this was a bad idea.
I knew he was gonna go back to work. That is fascinating that
She's got
they,
beautiful
so they're basically
Adam did.
cutting skin from right here and sewing it to her face.
To add some sutures
So
to
it's
strengthen
still
the graft.
alive
Could
from
you
right
slide
here. And then after there's like good blood flow, they're gonna snip it here and then just, it's just fascinating how with the limited technology and experience,
Please
you know what I
refer to
mean?
her.
They're innovative.
My apologies,
you
Miss
know?
Hopkins.
And they're making it work. It's really interesting. I wanna see though, very curious.
Must be awful to weather shame on your face for people to see.
Nurse Baker, another word from you about anything other than the job at hand, and I will sew your mouth and nostrils shut and happily watch you asphyxiate.
Holy crap. Jesus. Oh, crap.
I'm gonna clamp as much as I can, and then you follow behind me and sew everything you see that's got blood coming out of it. I'll be right back.
This didn't last long at all.
Excuse me, a slight emergency in the outdoor clinic. I just need some silk.
Outdoor
Edwards,
clinic.
we're operating on Mr. Gatchell in the morning. We're going to need you in the operating theater. We're doing your galvanic procedure.
Will you be assisting me?
No, I'll be assisting Gallinger. It's his patient.
What will I be doing?
Talking.
Just talking him through the procedure.
Coaching.
That's all.
So everybody's aware of the outdoor clinic and they're permitting it?
I think he did.
What should we do with him?
Drop him in the bushes on Murray Hill. Someone will find him.
That is fascinating, man.
It really was like trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear.
That's some muscle, too. Now you don't have any more pigs. What are you doing? Is this dinner? That's gonna make the whole hospital smell like a barbecue.
Yeah, I've been lots of places around the world and back again. Delaware. Yeah, plenty good folk down there. Tennessee. I've been there a bunch too.
Got a real sojourner over here.
Stop it, Algernon.
Just didn't realize that around the world and back again meant anywhere you could get to in a few days on a horse.
Shut your mouth. I'd like to see that.
Oh, he's drunk out here trying to fight. It's a very unique shot. Stop. Interesting. All right, y'all. That was The Knick, Season 1, Episode 3, The Busy Flea. Oh, get off me. Oh. That was ridiculous. It's like some fetish stuff. It's cool. Not judging, but I was just expecting I don't know what I was expecting for the busy flea. The highlight for me was, in this episode, Algernon, he had a lot going on, you know? He lost that patient. Also, I don't know, he said the outdoor clinic. So I guess he had permission to start seeing African-American patients. But then again, there were a few moments where it looked like he was like stealing tools and stuff and throwing them in his pocket in the episode. But that man with a hernia that Algernon treated, he told him, you need to rest for like several weeks. And it seems like days later, he busted the hernia back open and bled out, which is absolutely horrible. But on top of that, in a moment of panic, Algernon runs upstairs into a surgery. You know, like, I watch Grey's Anatomy too, so I know that you are supposed to be sterile before you eat, like, sterilized before you even go into a room where surgery's happening. And he ran in there and picked up some thread with his teeth, and then they told him, hey, we basically ran out of ideas and don't know what to do, so we're gonna do your procedure, but you're not gonna do it, you're just gonna explain it. This dude is trying to be accepted. He's a black man, he is a successful, great doctor, and they're telling him that they're gonna do his stuff, but he can't do it? The disrespect. It's crazy. So, that pissed him off too. So, I mean, I'm not mad at him for going to a bar and getting in a fight. That's the second episode that's ended with Algernon standing over an unconscious dude, you know? Last time, that fight was instigated. It wasn't his fault, Mr. Pair's shoes, but this one, he totally instigated it. That dude was spitting game to a girl at a bar, and he was hating, you know? Now, I'm not saying he was trying to get with the girl, but still, he just should have kept his mouth shut. He was pissed, and I'm sure he was looking for a fight to take out that aggression, and he won. In the last episode, I said that him being an African-American man in the 1900s and having to, I'm sure he went to school with white people, you know, to get the education that he has, and went to some prestigious schools. So I'm sure that he went through a lot. I'm sure that he was not treated fairly at all through his schooling, and I'm just sure this is just a part of his life. And he actually said that to Miss Robertson. He can hold his own, and I'm really, really hoping that after this procedure is done, that he will get some time in the OR and that he doesn't have to hide and be doing stuff on the low anymore. He really, really deserves some respect. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And if you did enjoy this reaction, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And again, I want to thank one of my subscribers, Shishi. She's one of my Patreon supporters, and she suggested this show. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'd not even heard of it. It would have never crossed my path until she suggested it. So if you guys would like to submit requests for shows for me to actually take into consideration, you can check out the Patreon and post it on there. And I'll see you guys on the next one.